a 22-foot OceanGate submarine carrying 5 people, including 2 billionaire businessmen, went missing on Sunday, having lost contact with the U.S. Coast Guard less than 2 hours into its 13,000-foot dive to the ruins of the Titanic. So, what do I say about rich people all the time, about these billionaires all the time? And Russell paraphrased this back to me. These are not people who are necessarily all there. These are high-risk, reckless, shoot from the hip lunatics. In my experience with rich people as a tour guide in New York City, they are very impulsive. They're crazy. They don't think about the consequences of what they're doing. You jump in this 22, just narcissistic, no real respect for the world around you. You jump in this pod controlled by a PlayStation controller and you plunge the depths of the ocean. Let's have some humility in the face of nature here, folks. Let's take a look at some of the creatures from the depths of the ocean. When you go 13,000 feet.
Yeah.
This. This. It's an anglerfish. You find this at the depths of the ocean.
It should be like the pro-life people. They should show you those pictures before you get in the sub to try to deter you. Do you realize what it looks like down there?
This. What the fuck is this thing? This looks like Nancy Pelosi's maxi pad. I don't know what that is. It's got
that was rough even for this show.
That's not family friendly.
I always think I'm the one who's going to hit the new low, and somehow Keaton always swerves around me and gets there first
and beat you to it. Exactly. God. What the hell is this thing? Look at this. I mean, this is outer space. Look at this guy. He's a little cute. I mean, his own way. He's got some personality in his face. This is 13,000 feet.
That's very Moss Eisley spaceport. Right
Look at this, 13,000 feet.
Oh,
13,000 feet. This is what you're dealing with down there, folks. This is what you're dealing with down there. How about this guy? Look at this.
He's just there chilling, working out. I mean,
he looks kind of cool. He looks
kind of like a Muppet.
Yo, welcome.
Yeah. like he runs a jazz club in an undersea cave.
Hey, Kermit, welcome to my jazz club. Oh, hi, it's great.
Hi, ho.
Yeah, exactly. He looks friendly enough. Some of those other creatures down there, man, scary. You go down there in this, this, that's the exterior view.
Wrong?
No. You do it like this. What could possibly
go wrong?
You do it like
Here's
this.
OceanGate CEO Stockton Rush.
Go wrong.
Yeah, no, amazing. So here's the CEO of OceanGate, Stockton Rush, explaining how this thing here is controlled. So let's take a look inside the vessel and see how you are going to navigate the unknown depths of the Atlantic Ocean. How is this vessel controlled? Let's take a look inside.
You press forward. If you want to go back, you go back, turn left, turn right, go down, go up. And it's Bluetooth, so I can hand it to anybody. And it's meant for a 16-year-old to throw it around, and super durable. We keep a couple of spares on board.
What do you mean you can hand it to anybody? First of all, what do you mean hand it to anybody? Shouldn't one person...
Well, anybody who's not a 50-year-old white guy.
Right, yeah, that's the other thing. You didn't want 50-year-old white guys. Shouldn't the person who knows how to navigate the thing be in charge of it? You just pass it around. Oh, yeah, anybody could drive. Anyway, yeah, here, you try it. What do you paid $250,000 for the experience. You're worth $10 billion. Here, drive it. Drive it. We're only 13,000 feet under the ocean. It's not like anything bad can happen. And he says, we packed 2 extra controllers in case one of them breaks.
And he throws it against the wall.
In case this PlayStation controller from 1999 breaks when we're 13,000 feet under the ocean, we brought 2 extras.
We got this at GameStop.
Right, quality.
It's high quality.
It's not like we're irresponsible or anything. It's not like we have accounted. It's not like we haven't accounted for things maybe going wrong. We got 2 extra controllers here. It's Bluetooth.
It's foolproof.
Bluetooth. Half the time, my fucking phone doesn't connect to my headphones via the Bluetooth. You gonna count on Bluetooth? 13,000 feet under the ocean?
Well, apparently every time this thing went out, they lost communications.
There's more to that story, because here's the thing. All right, this guy liked to cut corners on everything and was very critical of the regulations that was put in place. And the reason why there was the loss of signal and why it was acceptable for one of the, I think they did 2 test dives on it, is because he didn't want to be bothered by the people on the main ship for keeping communication, which is, dude, you should be concerned. If you can't talk to the people at the bottom of the ocean, that's a problem. But he told them, I don't want you to worry about that. Stop annoying me. Stop calling me on the radio. I want to be
you
in
know
the
what
ocean
that's
and
like
play.
when someone you don't want to talk to calls and you check who's calling, right? So
Yeah.
he didn't want to deal with that.
But he's writing their checks. And in regards to who designed the ship, he didn't want to have all these veterans who were like 30 or 50 years in the business.
Yeah.
And that is downright insane.
He did this whole woke virtue signaling thing.
Yeah.
Where he gave this whole interview saying, you know, you see these guys who are usually in this business and they're ex-Navy submariners and they're all 50-year-old white guys. And I didn't want that. You know, I wanted a younger team, a more diverse team. There was a video of one of the people he hired. It's this girl, maybe 25. I just got hired by this company that goes down to look at the Titanic. I just can't. And then she puts out another video about how she got them to go to a drag club while they were in port. Yeah, well, okay. You know, maybe the diversity was not as important as the 50-year-old white guy who told them in 2018, who they fired, that this fucking thing is dangerous, that the carbon fiber that they were given was actually defective, that they made it out of, and that it was very likely to shatter and implode, which is exactly what ended up happening.
There was only one way in and one way out. So in other words, there
was no way out. They get bolted in.
Yeah.
Get out once.
Yeah. So that's what I meant. Like there was only one way in, one way out. So like as soon as they shut it in, they bolted. So even if they were floating to the surface, they better have that socket wrench or whatever they need to get them out. But that didn't happen. Plus, you know that window, the Cyclops window, it only could withstand, I think, pressure from 1,500 meters. The Titanic is 3,700 meters in the ocean, I believe.
13,700 feet, I think.
That's that. Again, this man was reckless. He didn't want to follow regulations, and he led not himself but 4 other people to their demise. A very unhealthy, crunched up, juicy ocean demise.
Look, all I'm going to say is, if you're like me, you've probably amused yourself on occasion when you're feeling down. You probably like to go on the Darwin Awards website every now and then. And, you know, it's always these fucking dumb hicks who, you know, decided to, you know, stuff a potato into the tailpipe of a fucking V8 engine or some shit. If they do not put this in the Darwin Awards, I'm calling classism.
It has to be. And the thing is, what I find really shocking is that there were numerous attempts to stop this man from launching this submarine and this failed campaign. And $250,000 for a ticket, $250K for an experimental product, and you're waiving the rights knowing that you're going to something doomed. The individuals who went on it, probably thrill seekers, not even taking any respect into the ocean. You go in there, you have a wireless. Again, that's not even a PlayStation 3 controller. It's a knockoff version of a PlayStation 3 controller. It's not an actual PlayStation. They got the cheaper version of it.
It would have been funny if they had an Atari controller.
The lighting that's inside the submarine is something you get from a camper store.
That's what he said. That he got it from some like Campway or something. The light. He was bragging about it. He was proud of it. I got this from Campway.
Yeah, and again, I think there's a couple other things that were missing structurally in the submarine. That go ahead.
There was a guy who was supposed to be on this trip, and he said they kept. I think he was saying they were supposed to do test launches to meet targets, and he said, yeah, they kept not meeting the targets. And he said, and then he looked into the equipment that they were using, and it didn't seem safe to him. So he backed out and got back his deposit. So, you know, if you applied, 5 seconds of fucking common sense, you didn't have to be a physicist to figure out that you got to be a fucking moron to get in that thing with that guy and go down to the Titanic.
Do you think the ghosts of the Titanic are hazing the new guys now?
Probably.
People talk about.
They're like, you morons. We had every reason to think this was unsinkable. What's your fucking They told us it was unsinkable. What were you thinking?
Who are the new guys?
People talk about how the ocean is claiming this is more for the Titanic. I mean, the Titanic, Jesus, they don't quit that Titanic. You can't get a break on that ship. I mean, the Yelp reviews for that must be awful.
Yeah,
terrible. If that were around,
one star. All the way down.
Just unbelievable, unbelievable. But they ran out of oxygen. I mean, how much oxygen does it have? Couldn't you put like a plant in there? Don't plants create oxygen, right? Isn't that the idea? Isn't that why we're not supposed to cut down trees
for that amount of time? Yeah.
I think it could work. Put a ficus in there or some shit. Buy yourself some extra time. Just breathe onto it.
With that idea, it sounds like you would have been a perfect addition to their safety.
To the team, yeah.
True.
I told them, you put a plant, you put a couple of plants in there.
Put a couple of ficus in there.
Put a ficus in that bitch. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, buy yourselves a little time at least. A little bit of time at least. Yeah, no, I mean, just narcissism in, narcissism out. But the bottom line is what we just showed you. Okay? I mean, it's just plainly as day. You got this going down here. You got this guy saying we control it on a Bluetooth PlayStation controller, and you're going here. I mean, this is just, it's the most obvious thing in the world. And then you had, so then they get stuck down there, right? And then,
well, they didn't get stuck. They just fucking blew up.
Well, they blew up. Yeah, they couldn't get back. Right, it imploded. Right. They can't get back. They're missing. And then here you have the stepson of one of the billionaires goes to a Blink 182 concert and starts hitting girls up on their OnlyFans while his stepfather is at the bottom of the ocean, probably dead. There's a search and rescue underway, and this guy's just living his best life. And Cardi B decides she has a bit of a problem with that. She says, "Hey, I'd rather be broke and be loved than be a billionaire and have my son partying while I drown or get crushed in a can."
Well, especially, Blink 182.
Underwater and Blink 182. So here is Cardi B.
Whoa.
One of the billionaires that's missing on the water from that submarine shit. One of the billionaires, their stepson, is at a concert, right? At a Blink 182 concert. And people is like, well, what is he supposed to do? Be sad at the house? Is he supposed to go look for himself? Yes. You're supposed to be at the house sad. You're supposed to be crying for me. You're supposed to be right next to the phone waiting to hear any updates about me. You're supposed to be counseling your mom and shit. Like, isn't it sad that you a whole fucking billionaire and nobody gives a fuck about you? Like,
damn.
Like, you missing and motherfuckers is ready to shake dicks at concert. That's crazy. I'd rather be broke. I'd rather be broke than like and poor, but knowing that I'm loved. Like,
all right. So there you go. I'd rather be broke and poor knowing that I'm loved. And then the kid decides...
He wasn't going to take that kind of shit from a mere millionaire.
Right. Yeah, exactly. From a peasant like Cardi B. He decided to snap back. Here he is.
Is stuck at
so
the
this
damn
is the guy. This is the guy whose father is, now we know.
I mean, this is really getting into Succession territory because one of the things I thought that show conveyed very well was how fucking worthless these children were.
Absolutely. Jesus Christ, they're all pathetic.
It just reminds you of the Dorothy Parker line. If you want to see what God thinks of money, look at who he gives it to. This guy is Exhibit A.
Here we go.
The submarine is stuck at the damn Titanic. There's nothing I can do.
I love that. What did I say? No respect for anything. No respect for even the Titanic. It's still stuck at the damn Titanic. They went to see that gay boat or whatever, and they're stuck down there. What do you want me to do about it?
Or something.
Some boat that sank that they thought they wanted to go see. Whatever. Yeah, right, exactly. It was a movie
James
about
Cameron or something, right?
Right.
And he was trying to hook up with OnlyFans models. Jesus Christ, ladies.
I mean, we can't show those pictures on YouTube because the video will get pulled. But yeah, he was trying to hook up with the OnlyFans.
That is when you are fucking unbelievably pathetic. You have that kind of money and you got to try to hit women up on OnlyFans. How pathetic do you have to be, man?
All right, here we go.
Is stuck at the damn Titanic. There's nothing I can do for the situation at all. So that's the truth. So you take a complete bitch like Cardi B, has no idea what's going on. Her career is so in such turmoil, she needs clout off other people's suffering.
Who does this
Oh
remind you
yeah,
of?
Cardi B needs clout off you.
Cardi B don't need
Off
no clout.
you.
Off of you, right? Who does this remind you of? Here, I will throw the libs of some red meat here. Cardi B's a bitch whose career's going nowhere and thought that she needs to come at me for
Failing
clout.
Cardi B.
Failing Cardi B, low ratings, low downloads. Cardi B needs to
I
clout
heard her
chase
last
off of
album,
my
it
family
was-
tragedy.
It was a disaster. It was a disaster. The record company might go out of business because of her last album.
Exactly.
Oh my
They're
God.
saying they wish they never signed her. Did you know that?
No,
And she's like, he won't go help. Blah, blah, blah. He goes to a rock concert, this and that. Tries to use the situation to exploit, like the news. They're not like feeling sorry that my mom has to take care of 2 kids. Not really giving a fuck that my stepdad's probably 99% chance he's dead. That doesn't matter. Doesn't care how we feel. Just trying to like fucking make gains. People like trolling, getting hate mail, all these things. And it's just fucked up. And to have Cardi B behind it, Cardi B, like, fucking grow up, get some
Oh,
class.
shut up, white
like,
boy.
You're tasteless.
Shut up, white boy. God damn it.
Oh
Shut
shit!
the
Those
hell
are
up,
the
white
OnlyFans.
boy.
We can't show that.
Hey, what? So what? He's got money. He's hooking up with the OnlyFans. Dude, I hope those models drain his bank account. I hope they run him to the bank. That'll be the funniest thing ever.
All right,
Friggin' bastard deserves it.
this is the great look. I'm gonna throw a bone to my tanky friends. That guy is the greatest argument for a fucking communist revolution that you could possibly put forth. You look at that guy. That guy has more fucking money than you and everybody you know combined. Why? Why?
10 times more, 100 times more than everybody you know combined.
Right.
Yeah.
That guy. Why? It's a
whiny little
meritocracy. Really? It's a meritocracy. That's that guy is at the top of the food chain. You're gonna call that a meritocracy. That fucking I wouldn't trust that guy to make me a hamburger. This
you're being generous
motherfucker's
there.
got $1 billion.
I wouldn't trust that guy to give me a glass of water.
Like
this
that.
water was in Titanic.
Like really, that is like a character out of Succession. This would have been someone they went to school with.
Such a bizarre and darkly comic story. I mean, a 19-year-old kid died. Obviously, that's very sad.
Yeah.
And obviously, we don't wish, I don't wish harm on anybody. But these are thrill seekers. These are thrill seekers with no humility or respect for risk or really respect for life and death. I mean, that's what this behavior is. They knew this going in that's what this is. This isn't like Kobe Bryant taking his kid for a spin in a helicopter. You know what I mean? Like that's that you can't say anything about because it's a helicopter ride.
Right.
That
happens.
Safest thing in the world.
Right.
You get into a pod like this and plunge the depths of the ocean with some fucking whack job. Who with 3 USB PlayStation controllers. I mean, my God,
That's
I'm
the
sorry.
kicker.
I'm
Like that. If that's not a hit and a half for your ass, what is a game? If that didn't scare you off, what would?
exactly.
What would? Like if the guy fucking piloted it dressed as SpongeBob, would that make you decide rethink it? Like
Well, the thing is-
what would be too over the top for you to get in that fucking sub?
It was my bare knowledge of going underwater. There's a couple things to factor in. You got the currents, you got the pressure, you got salt water, which can do
you got the
damage.
temperature.
Yeah, and the
Exactly.
temperature too.
People who did it, who fortunately for them, did it before the fucking sub blew up this time. They said once you get down there, you had to put layers on because they don't have a heating system that can handle that.
So there is a sort of French Revolution vibe in the air.
Oh yeah,
with all of this, we just
it's strangely all centered on the ocean.
Yeah, exactly. Here's one meme. that is circulating around. Sorry, I have to get rid of some of these. My apologies, because I have too many slides, too many graphics up tonight. So we just selected 3 of these memes here. You know, Jerry Seinfeld, we should go easy on these billionaires. They're under a lot of pressure. Then you have this one here, which I thought was good. It's loading up right now. Sorry, these are... Is that one not cooperating with me? All right, that one's not cooperating. You're done. You're off. That's it. I'll give you one more chance. There it is. Those millionaires at the bottom of the ocean. Wish they were poor now. And then this was a tweet. This was not a meme, but this is the last one we have here. We have plenty of air up here. Surely some will trickle down. So there you have it. So there's
you didn't pull the part of the Titanic wreck priceless. I thought that was a really good one.
Oh, well, that was the one that you tweeted out. Yeah, I forgot to pull that one, but we tweeted out one thing. That was the MasterCard, right? $250,000 to visit the Titanic.
Becoming a permanent part of the Titanic priceless.
Priceless, yeah, exactly.
So okay, I do not believe that 10 years ago people would have reacted that way. I actually saw somebody today, a kind of Libby friend of mine, talk about how she had seen all of these comments on memes and how all of these people thought that these people deserved it, and she was like, wow. It kind of opened her eyes. It was interesting to see a lib. Like, she wasn't like, these people are horrible. She was just like, yeah, wow, I can't believe what's in the air. It's like it started to dawn on her.
Well, there's a lot of resentment.
It's yes. This is 10 years ago. This wouldn't have happened. And much less 20 years ago, if you had made those kinds of comments, look, we always had our like genre of sick jokes. They, kind of that more dark sense of humor, but it wasn't mainstream. Like and it was understood to be like a dark, sick joke, right? Like there were always jokes like, what will it take to reunite the Beatles? 3 more bullets, like you always had that kind of humor around. But that was not a mainstream point of view, such that it seems like most people agree, yeah, fuck those motherfuckers. So, people who actually, I was thinking about using it in this segment, but we already have enough going on. A couple of conservatives, including Matt Walsh, did segments like, having the vapors about people reacting that way to the deaths of these billionaires. Well, you know what? People are facing such horrors and deprivation and death from lack of health insurance, from lack of proper wages, from lack of proper nutrition, from lack of safe neighborhoods, that, yeah, they do feel like, fuck you, motherfuckers, because it's because of you extracting all this wealth that you use to buy your spot on that sub, that my friends down the block are dead, that my friends died of cancer, that my family members are in prison. It's because of people like you and the wealth that you extracted from people like me. So they're seeing that direct connection. Like, how did you pay for this? It's the same thing people were saying when he didn't die, but when Bezos went up to the moon, right? Who's paying for these billionaires to go have this fun? It doesn't feel... In America, whether it was valid or not valid, the general perspective tended to be, well, they're rich, they earned it, and there's enough for me to have my chance. And even if I don't get rich, if you work hard and play by the rules, you'll do all right. That was the mentality. So you didn't have, even if it wasn't true, there was enough wealth in the society generally to not have such an absolute fucking hatred and resentment of people who can just drop $250,000 to take a trip like this.
Mm-hmm. I would even say in regards towards people's anger, it's been building for some time now. It's always been there, but the opportunity to really share it vocally was always restricted. And now with so much utter hypocrisy in our face, it is reasonable and completely rational for individuals to say about these billionaires. And even, look, I don't wish that on anybody, to say, they deserved it. I don't care.
Right.
It's just a bunch of rich people.
But even with the means of communication, like, look, you had other means of communication.
True.
Like that. Unless it was, the pamphlet you got from the socialists at Union Square. Yeah, man, that kind of rhetoric was just not as prevalent. Like, man, you had your punks and your anarchists who would have been like, yeah, fuck the rich man, right? But that was not. Now it's like everybody.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Like now you're hard pressed to find somebody who's sympathetic to them.
Please clap.